Hello and welcome back to the another episode of Daily News Quiz Analysis for IAS Prelims 2025. It is 26th Feb today, and in this video we are going to solve some important questions which are very much relevant for your preparation. As usual, before we'll start our discussion, I would like to give you the brief introduction about this initiative so that if you are new to our channel, you will get more connected with us. Basically in this video, we are going to discuss three types of questions, and those questions would be taken from three different sources. So depending on this, our first part of our discussion would contain questions from the current affairs. What we will do here, we will take up the most important articles from the newspapers. We will try to break them down into the simplest language possible, and we will try to derive the possible previous questions from those particular articles so that it will give the idea which part of the newspaper is important for you, what should be your approach when you are reading these news articles, and how you can expect a possible previous question from these particular topics. So this is what we are going to do in the first part of our discussion. After solving questions with respect to current affairs, we will shift our approach to the second part. Here we will discuss questions from the static topics. Currently we are discussing Indian polity, and in Indian polity we are discussing the office of the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. So today we are going to discuss a topic with respect to that, and we will try to derive the possible prelims question which can be asked from this topic so that it will give the idea how questions actually can be asked in the exam, and it will prepare you well for that. After solving questions with respect to current affairs and the static part, we will shift our approach to the last part of our discussion, where we will solve questions from the previous year question book. To me, this is the most important part because in here we learn what is the vocabulary used by UPSC, what are the different trends they follow, and what can be the different methods which we can apply in exam by without, if for example, if we don't have the knowledge. So what are the different methods or trends, or we can say different techniques we can apply in the exam and solve the questions? This we are going to learn here, and also we'll try to learn how we can implement this knowledge in the upcoming exam. So this is in nutshell what we are going to do in this video. Now before we start our discussion, I would like to request you guys, please do subscribe the channel. When you subscribe us, it motivates us to work more hard on these important topics and provide you the best information possible. So please do subscribe, do share it with your friends so that they may also get benefited from this initiative, and please do write in the comments what else should we bring for you guys. Now without any delay, let's have a look at the first question which we had brought today. As here on the screen you can see, the question is with respect to Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. You may ask me a question here, sir, why we had brought this question here, what is the reason for that? Before we'll go to the context of this question, first let's try to solve the question, and then we'll shift it to the context and understand it more properly, why we had brought it here. As the question says, consider the following statements regarding Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. First statement, it says it is an overarching program for the school education sector extending from preschool to senior secondary level. 100% correct, nothing wrong with the statement. It is the overarching program for the school education sector extending from preschool to senior secondary school. Second, what is its aim? It aims to provide inclusive and equitable quality education at all levels of school education. 100% correct. Its aim is to provide the inclusive and equitable quality education. Third, let's see, it subsumes the previously existing schemes of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, and teacher education. 100% correct. It has subsumed all these three schemes in one. And fourth, let's see what is the fourth statement. It focuses exclusively on improving infrastructure in government schools. This is totally incorrect. So here we understood what this Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan is about. Now we had understood the question. Now you can ask me a question here, sir, why we brought this. There is a conflict between the central government and the Tamil Nadu government, and the conflict is with respect to the three language policy. This is the conflict. You know what Tamil Nadu government is accusing here, accusing central government that under this scheme, under Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan scheme, the central government has to provide funds to the Tamil Nadu government. But unfortunately, according to Tamil Nadu government, central government is not providing the funds. And reason, what is the reason they are citing? The reason they are citing here is that why central government is not providing the funds, it is because we are not implementing three language policy. We are not implementing the three language policy in our schools. That is the reason why the Tamil, why central government is not providing the funds. that Tamil Nadu government is not implementing three language policy. So here comes the discussion. Here is a discussion of Hindi, why central government is trying to impose Hindi on different states, and according to the Tamil Nadu government or other governments like them, and what is this dual what is a two language policy, what they follow right now, and what does the laws state about it, what does the national education policy state about it. With respect to imposing Hindi, we first we have to understand that the beginning of English in our country, beginning of English, how English was introduced in our country. Right now, as we are right now teaching in English and we are understanding everything in English now, it has become very much important part of our communication right now. But it did not start as it. There were huge protests against them when the colonial government tried to introduce English, when they tried to provide the funds. And one of the major reason which they highlighted, that why there was rain of wealth from India to India, they said that the reason they give, that we had promoted English here and it was huge investment with respect to that. So once English was introduced, there was there people did not like it. People felt that they are trying to, in a way, they are trying to violate the culture of India. So what does it mean? Once any language is imposed on any other area which is not native of that area, what they feel that if their identity is being under pressure right now. Similar is the case with the Hindi. Even though Hindi right now, it is not the national language, it is not the national language, but once they feel, once the governments, especially the southern state governments, feel that center is trying to promote Hindi, they feel that it is threat to their national identity, it is threat to their language. And language, people are highly highly attached to the language. There is cultural attachment to the language, there is emotional attachment to the language, and they feel that by introducing Hindi, by promoting Hindi, by as center is trying to give it the national status, national language status, they are trying to, center is trying to subsume our languages, and it is definitely going to impact the culture. So with respect to that, the states are this many states are reacting to that. So with respect to this, we need to understand few things here. First of all, that in Hindi, it is not the national language. Please remember that Hindi is not the national language of our country. So what is Hindi? So what is the status of Hindi? Hindi and English together are the Hindi and English together are the official. We can say Hindi and English are together the official languages. We can say, they are the official languages. They are mainly the reason for the promotion of these languages, to get the communication done very well, so that it can be the connecting language between different regions. So what government is trying to promote here, why government is trying to promote English, because they feel that we should go away from the colonial era, that even though the English was there, but it is preferable for them, it is preferable for our country to choose a native language which can be understood everywhere, which can be promoted. So this is the motive of the center. They want to expand the Hindi as the native language, which would be the connecting link, which would be the connecting link for every state. So here the states, like southern states, do not like that. They feel that it is like they are trying to force this language on them. Right now, what is status of Hindi? It is not a language, it is not a national language. There is no national language in our country, but there are official languages, and Hindi and English are mostly treated as official languages. So with this, let us see what does the national education policy say. If we look at the national education policy, it has, from the from the beginning of the national education policy, it has always highlighted that in 1968, in 1968 in 1968, the national education policy, it has introduced there should be three languages which should be taught to the students. One should be the regional language, what is the language which is spoken there. Thus another language should be the English, and the third language should be Hindi. So according to the national education policy of 1968, it always promoted three languages, and they were in a way compulsory on the states. But as we know, the southern states did not like them, especially Tamil Nadu, and they had chosen only two language policy, which is English and the regional language. And this 1968, it was amended by the National Education Policy of 2020, And this 2020 introduced that it should be with respect to the will of the children, even though it in a way respected the three language policy, it kept it there, but at the same time it highlighted that it should be within the scope of the children, within the scope of the parents who are teaching their children, that if they want to, it is a kind of a compulsory, it is not that compulsory, it is optional. If they want to choose it, they should go for it, and if they don't want to choose it, they should leave it. But here what Tamil Nadu government accusing that why they are not getting the funds in the Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan from the state, from the central government, that Tamil Nadu government is not ready to go for the three language policy. They are still stuck on the two language policy. They had not adopted the three language policy, and the reason they had not adopted the three language policy, the central government is trying to force them by stopping the funds in these schemes. That is the allegation, and this is the whole concept of it. I hope you had understood it. If there is any confusion, please do write in the comments. Let me recap it. Let me give you the brief of this topic. There is a scheme called Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, where the central government provides funds for the states for the promotion of education. Here comes the Tamil Nadu government. They believe that the central government is restricting the funds for the Tamil Nadu government under this scheme, and the reason they are highlighting that we are not promoting the three language policy, that is the reason why central government is withholding this money. So according to central government, it is not that true. According to them, promotion of Hindi is very much important. But here comes the whole criteria why Hindi should be adopted. Here comes another, here is the entry of the another reports, how it has impacted, how three language policy has impacted the education system in our country, and it has highlighted it has not been that much successful. According to ASA report, it has shown that many students from the class 5th, they were not even able to read the class 2nd books. So according to the data, it has not been that much successful. But still, there is according to center, there is need for the promotion of Hindi. It should be the connecting link. But according to these states, they feel that it is like they are negatively impacting their cultural identity if in Hindi would be imposed on them, and they are not ready for that. They believe that English and their regional languages are enough for the connectivity. English language is enough for the connectivity. This is the whole idea behind this question, and that's why we had brought this question. I hope you had understood it. If there is any confusion, please do write in the comments. We will try our best to clear that. With this, let's move to the another slide and see what question we had brought here. Here the question is with respect to the internet shutdown. There was a data in the Hindu newspaper today, and it has highlighted how India is becoming, infamously becoming the internet shutdown capital of the world. How India is becoming the internet shutdown capital of the world. And with respect to that, the author of this article, he says that there is definitely need for the guidelines with respect to internet shutdown. Even though it can be the necessity, it is not something, article 19, which gives you the freedom of speech and expression, that is not an absolute right. There can be restrictions, and one of the restriction could be the internet shutdown, but there should be the proper reasons given why there is internet shutdown. There should be proper time period given from which time to which time there would be internet shutdown, and what are the reasons, they should be properly highlighted. So with respect to that, there was a data given how India is among other countries, and it has highlighted that under this data, Myanmar is at the top. In 2024, it has seen 86 shutdowns. Then it is India, where it has seen 85 shutdowns. Then after that, after Myanmar and India, it has been Pakistan, then Russia. So we can see what kind of countries are there in the internet shutdown, and India is also there, and India is topping the list. So there is the issue with respect to that. And also this article highlighted what were the reasons why there were internet shutdowns. So with respect to that, we will solve the question and understand the reasons. Here the question says, consider the following statements regarding the primary reasons for internet shutdown in India. First statement: to prevent the spread of misinformation and rumors during periods of social unrest or communal violence. 100% correct. This has been the primary reason. If there is communal violence, then there would be internet shutdown. But the author here highlighted that even though there are mere small violences, government has gone for the internet shutdown. According to the author, internet shutdown should have been the exceptional case, but what government is doing, they are just they are proactively going for this, and without thinking much, they are imposing the internet shutdown, and they are restricting the huge communication there, they are restricting the education system there. And we had seen major internet shutdowns in Manipur and also in Jammu and Kashmir region. We they the students from these particular regions feel how it reversely impacts the education system. Then the second reason given here is that to maintain order and prevent cheating during the conduct of competitive examination. This is very much bizarre that there are internet shutdowns during the to prevent the cheating during the conduct of competitive examination, even though it can be important, but there should be it should be in a very precise and in a particular center wise manner. There should be jammers in the centers, but unfortunately there had been cases that whole region is under the internet shutdown while there is examination. So this is also one of the reason which was highlighted in the newspaper today, so please remember that. And trust me, a question like this can be asked in the exam. If you feel that usually such questions don't come in the prelims, don't worry about that. Questions like do come in the exam, and you may get shocked, and at that time you may believe that cheating can't be the reason, but trust me, it has been highlighted. So please note down these important points. Then the third important point which has been mentioned in the article was to suppress political dissent and prevent the coordination of protests. 100% correct. To prevent the protests, it has been imposed, internet shutdowns has been imposed. Then the fourth thing which was highlighted in the which has been highlighted in this question is to counter cyber attacks originating from external actors. Even though this may lead to the internet shutdown in future, but right now there has been no case of such where internet shutdown has been imposed to counter the cyber attacks. So this statement is incorrect. So with respect to this question, what are the correct statements? Correct statements are statement 1, statement 2, and statement 3 only. And why we brought this question? Because there was discussion why India is topping the list with respect to the countries who are going for major internet shutdowns, and it is showing in a way that what is the condition in the country if we are going for the internet shutdowns because of the protests, because of the communal violence. It highlights much about the country, and also at the same time it shows that what it this article has highlighted that there is definitely need of clear guidelines with respect to that. With this, let's move to the another slide and see what question we had brought there. Here the question is with respect to the arrest of woman. It was also in the news. What are the what high courts had highlighted with respect to the arrest of woman? What are the guidelines with respect to that? So please remember that a question with respect to this can be asked in the exam. Actually this section which we had brought here, it is repeated same in the BNS under 43.5 section, so please remember that too. Here the question says, consider the following statements regarding the arrest of women under the Code of Criminal Procedure in India. First statement, a woman can be arrested at any time of day or night, provided a male police officer is accompanied by a female police officer. It is very much general statement, and it is totally incorrect. There are exceptions for such instances, but usually it is incorrect. There are special guidelines that to arrest a woman you have to arrest her between the time sunset and sunrise. This rule, sunset and sunrise rule, is there, so please remember that sunset and sunrise rule. Within this time you have to arrest the woman, and you should be a police officer should be accompanied with the female officer who is going to arrest her. Suppose if there is no female officer, then the police officer can arrest her but without touching her. And also, if suppose if the conditions are very grave and the woman offender can be very dangerous for the security, then they can go for the overnight arrests, but they have to take the permission of the magistrate. If magistrate is not there, then they have to take the permission of the higher officials, but due process should be followed. So first statement is incorrect. Second statement, unless the circumstances otherwise require, the police officer making an arrest of a woman shall not touch her. 100%, you know in any circumstances a police officer who is male cannot touch her. Though, so this statement is also incorrect. Third statement, save third statement says, save in exceptional circumstances, no woman shall be arrested after sunset and sunrise. This statement is 100% correct. except in exceptional circumstances, no woman shall be arrested after sunset and sunrise. Fourth statement, a woman has the right to be examined by a male medical practitioner immediately following her arrest. This is also incorrect. This is also incorrect. She has the right, a woman has the right to be examined by a medical practitioner immediately following her arrest. Sorry, this statement is correct, not incorrect. She has this right. So with respect to this question, what are the correct statements? Correct statements are statement 3 and statement 4 only. Sorry, I had not given any such statement, so we will make option B, statement 3 and statement 4 only, which is the correct option. With this, let's move to the, I hope you had understood what are the guidelines, and also with respect to these guidelines, even though they are with respect to the arrest of women during night, there are not specific guidelines what should be the reason, how it should be followed, who should be the officers involved. So here the author highlights that their Supreme Court should come in and they should give the clear guidelines with respect to that. With this, let's move to the another slide and try to solve the question there. Here the question is with respect to Herat security dialogue. This security dialogue, it is being conducted in Madrid. So let's know about it. We need to know about the current affairs, what it is about, who are going to organize it. So the question says, which of the following organizations is primarily responsible for organizing the Herat security dialogue? First statement, the United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan, incorrect. The Afghan Ministry of Foreign Affairs, incorrect. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization, incorrect. The foreign officials and diplomats of Afghanistan, 100% correct. And why they are meeting right now in Madrid? Because they are trying to put pressure on the international community to not recognize Taliban officials right now. And also we are seeing, and they had highlighted that India should not accept the envoys from the Taliban, because right now many countries are accepting the envoys even though we had not recognized them. But right now what the condition is looking like, that India is very much ready to deal with Afghan government there, Taliban government there. They are ready to cooperate with them, and maybe they are going to accept the envoys from the Taliban. So this is the issue which they had highlighted, that India should not accept them, India should not recognize them. So with this, it becomes important for us to know about the Herat security dialogue. A question about it can be asked in the exam. So with this, let's move to the another slide and see what question we had brought in there. Here the question is with respect to the increasing human-animal conflict in India. There was an article with respect to that, and let us see what are the reasons for the increased human-animal conflict in India. Here the question says, consider the following statements regarding the primary reasons for increased human-animal conflict in India. First statement, rapid expansion of human settlements and encroachment into wildlife habitats, 100% correct. Second statement, depletion of a natural prey population due to habitat loss and poaching, 100. Depletion of natural prey population due to habitat loss and poaching, 100% correct. Third statement, increased effectiveness of wildlife conservation efforts leading to overpopulation of certain species. Even though this could be the reason for the future, but right now it is not the reason, so we can mark it incorrect, but for the future this can be the trend also. Fourth statement, climate change leading to shift in animal migration patterns and resource availability, 100% correct. So with respect to this question, the correct statements are statement 1, statement 2 and statement 4. So the correct option would be option B here. So with this, we complete today's discussion with respect to current affairs. I hope you had understood every topic here. If there is any confusion, please do write in the comments. We are here to help you. We will try our best to reach out to you guys. With this, let's move to the another part of our discussion where we will solve a question from the static portion and see what we had brought today. As currently we are discussing the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers, so today's topic is with respect to the Union Council of Ministers. So here we will try to learn what Union Council of Ministers, what kind of ministries are there. So it is important for us to understand that. With respect to the Union Council of Ministers, we should know that Union Council of Ministers is the de facto head of the Union Executive, which exercising effective power of policy making and implementation. This Union Council is led by the Prime Minister of India, and with respect to that, there are four classes of ministries. So here we had brought the question with respect to, as you can see here, the question, these are the four classes of the ministries under the Union Council of Ministers. These are the four classes of ministries. So we have to understand there with respect to this question, what is the with respect to their rank, what is their descending order. So at the top it is 100% cabinet ministers, 100% at the top it is cabinet ministers. Then minister of states with independent charge heading a ministry which does not have a cabinet minister, second, 100% correct. This is the second with respect to rank. Then the third, ministry of state working under a cabinet minister, 100%. This is the third. And the fourth list is deputy ministers. These are the four ministers which come under the Union Council of Ministers, and this is the descending order of them. So please remember this question. Please remember these ministers. It is very much important, and about them we will learn in upcoming classes what they are, about what they deal with. But here, what do you need to know? What are these four types of ministries, and what is their rank with respect to the descending order? A chronological questions like that may often be asked in the exam. With this, we complete our discussion with respect to the static topic also. Now let's move to the last part of our discussion, where we will bring the previous year question. And today's previous year question is from the physical geography, and this question was asked in 1996. So let's see what was the question asked. The question here says they are the it is talking about the race, so we need to know to which race they are, basically talking about which race they are basically talking about. We need to know about that. Here the question says they are people of yellow complexion, oblique eyes, high cheekbones, yellow complexion, oblique eyes and high cheekbones, sparse hair and medium height. So what do you think what it is referring to? If when we know about the oblique eyes, we come to the conclusion that mostly they are referring to the people belonging to this race, Mongoloids race. So 100% question, this 100% correct. The question is basically talking about the Mongoloid race. So about Mongoloid race, we should know that they are inhabitants of northern, eastern and southeast Asia. Their eyes has a characteristic fold of skin on the upper lid. Hair is lank and straight, and the height is medium. The groups also includes the Chinese, Japanese, Burmese, Thais, Vietnamese, and Malaysian people. So this is what this question is talking about. The question is basically talking about the Mongoloids. So please, when you are going through your books, when you are most often we will try to ignore such things. Being a student myself, I would have ignored such points because I don't believe that this would be that much important for my examination. But that is the catch. For you, what you believe it is not important, that is actually the important. These minute things, these read between the lines, what usually it is talked about when it comes to the UPSC preparation. When you are reading the books, you have to read between the lines. There is the information. Any question, mostly whenever there are questions asked in the exam, maybe mostly talking about the static part, approximately 40 to 50 questions are from the static part, and these static part questions are mostly from the books. So why still we are not able to answer them? Because we don't have this habit of reading between the lines. If we have developed this habit of reading between the lines, we can definitely crack these questions. It would definitely become easy for us. So with this, I would like to complete my discussion here. I would like to thank you for staying with me. Thank you very much and have a nice day. And one thing I would like to request you guys, please do note down these questions. They are going to be the game changers for you. Trust me, when your exams would be there. Suppose if you are preparing for 2025, I'm talking about when there would be the exam would be around 25th of May. So in the month of May, you would want to revise everything, but time won't permit you. So what would you do at that time? If you have these questions with you, if you would have understood them, you would just revise these questions. These questions would definitely connect you with the current affairs. It will connect you with the static part, and it will definitely connect you with the previous year questions. So you will feel highly confident before entering the exam hall. And also it is the same source which UPSC is going to use for framing your papers. So there are very high chances that many questions which we discuss here can be asked in the exams. If not the questions fully, many statements can be asked. Suppose if not the statements, trust me, these concepts, these would be the concepts from where they are going to ask you the questions. So be on the safer side, note down these questions and develop this habit. So with this, I would like to thank you guys. Thank you very much for staying with me and have a nice day.